I mean, not capes, but robes. They all lined up perfectly, shoulder to shoulder. Because they're one, but yet they're a host. And that's a black supreme energy. A greater, dominant, expanded force. But that doesn't manifest without supreme black eye consciousness, which allows one to see one's own black supremacy and the black supreme beingness and the supreme beingness of others. That allows one to arrive at that level, to get to that instant moment, you know what I'm saying, of that meditation. Because otherwise it would be thinking, hey, we need money, we need this to get together. But as a one divine mind, we can create whatever is mandatory for our togetherness. So we don't come together based on what we have. We come together based on what we can create as a super intelligence. Ooh, that's heavy. So some people come get with people to what I can get. I can get this, I got this, you got this money, I got this, we can get this together. Both of them are slaves. Because they're slaves to what they're getting and what they feel like they can get. You see what I'm saying? But when they come together as supreme beings, they come together from what they can create. Because now through supreme intelligence, anything that they could have got from anywhere, they begin to realize they can create it. As one supreme intelligent mind. But if they come together as two separate entities trying to relate, they can never put this shit back together. Thus, they still got overall. They still bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? Get two people together, you keep them separated, even though they together. A person in one consciousness. You see what I'm saying? They manipulate them. That's the white man. They think they're relating, but it's this documentation, and this white man, they're still separate. But if they really merge, white man will go out of power quickly. Because their supreme intelligence would merge in such a way, they will figure them out. They will see exactly what they're doing, just like that. Because the intelligence will be greater. So when we merge, we become a greater intelligence. Not an opposition intelligence, not a deep argument or a deep competition, but we become a greater intelligence. And a centralized intelligence. We become not just a couple. We become the CIA. A Central Intelligence Agency. We become a divine intelligence. We go from supreme being to supreme being. You see what I'm making? To supreme being, to supreme being. And it's a bigger being of supreme beings. That's one supreme being. Y'all don't hear me. That's heavy. Not an organization, an agency, a relationship, a marriage, all these Eurocentric terminologies or all that type of stuff that takes paperwork and hours to figure that stuff out. I'm talking about simplicity. Phenomenal. So black supremacy is that. All those objectives aren't there. But the allowance of the most divinest objectives based on one true premise is. And what I mean by that is if your premise is this, your objectives can only be that. I mean, if this is your cup, this is the only amount of water you can put in it. So your premise already set your objectives. So you don't have to get focused too much on objectives. You understand what I'm making? The cup is only going to fundamentally hold so much water according to its size. It's only going to hold certain type of liquids based upon what the cup is made out of. So if our premise is black supremacy, you know what I'm saying? Black supremacy, then that can only hold certain types of experiences and situations day to day. It's certain objectives that won't even fit in that scenario. Like, what am I going to do if I end up with a white woman? That's not even something you got to think about because you can't even. It's not going to fit in that cup. So it's not a confusion based on all these objectives, but an acceptance of how much water, which is circumstances and situations in life, can fit into that particular cup. Do you follow what I'm saying? So it's set in such a way based on black supremacy. What you are up against, what you're going to deal with is set. And based upon the level of devotion to black supremacy, can you overcome and stay grounded and firm in them situations and conditions? Because they set. If you're a black supremacist at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2010, this is what you're up against. It ain't too optional. It ain't a multiple choice thing. If you're a black supremacist at 2012, at 2010 at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is what you're up against. If you're a black supremacist that is on a fence of white nationalism, this is what you're going to deal with 2010 at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's set. Your position is the container that the water of the experiences of your life fall into. Do you see what I'm saying? So you ain't got to worry about what's going to fall into it and what that cup can hold. Make sure you got that cup. Do you see what I'm saying? And go with it. You're going to catch some water when it start raining. But make sure you got that damn cup. Our cup is black supremacy. We ain't going to go out talking about we're going to catch water. Come out and do all this and come back and don't even have a drink. Do you see what I'm saying? Just have that cup. Sit there with that black cup. And you're going to get you a drink. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's real. And people who are too, I don't know what we're going to do, this objective, this, that, and the other, we don't know that. They ain't holding that cup. So when it do start raining, they going to be like, damn. If I just had held on to that damn cup. You follow what I'm saying? So that's not something legislated and voted on and this, that, and the other. It's a position. That all the work, 100% of the work, is in fortifying that position against all. Against opposite circumstances. It's easy to hold it when things is going your way. But to hold it when things are not going your way, that is the complete work of it. Not to finagle and ease out and move out and run out and sleaze out and slide out. You feel what I'm saying? The 100% of the work is to stay firm to that position. Once you stay firm through the areas where firmness is needed, the harvest from that firmness will be plentiful. You see what I'm saying? The greatest work is firmness. That's why we keep saying black guy meditation, black guy consciousness, black supremacy, black guy, because that's the hardest of the work to take you through the most challenging of conditions and situations with a complete focus and a complete aim. Otherwise, you're wavering. And the slightest of situations can break you completely down. You see what I'm saying? So the hardest of work is not changing the world, but maintaining one's own position based on black supremacy and black enlightenment, and the world will have to change around you. You see the point I'm making? So you ain't change the world. You become solid like the sun. And the world revolves around you, and now it has to change you based on you. This nigga hot now. We gotta grow. This snow gotta melt now. You see what I'm saying? This white snow must melt. This nigga's hot. So I'm just turning up the heat with self. Not changing the world, but letting the world change around what's real. So this is enlightenment to black supremacy, and I bring people among the true path of that to be devotees, students, disciples. to be on that path, that's where I'm at. Not an organization, an entity, or group, a nation. It understands nationalism. It bleeds and overflows into nationalism and nations and sovereignties. Do you understand what I'm making? But it wakes up in the morning as that meditation. Throughout the day, it's nation building, sovereignty, this, that, and the other. But in the morning, it's that single aim of black eye consciousness. And at night, it's black eye consciousness. Do you see what I'm saying? I bring people into that path, not the path of Christianity, Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The Bible. I don't bring people into that at all. I don't know anything about it. I don't offer that. I don't understand that or interpret that. But I invite people to walk this enlightened path of black supremacy, black God consciousness, black liberation, black is power. I invite people to come in that path with true devotion and repel them based upon their inability to do so completely. If they can't make it, you couldn't make it. We ain't gonna shapeshift. You ain't make it. You want to make it? Come on and make it there. You feel me? It's real. It's real as I've been standing here doing it and being it. You can't make it, move on. Don't try to make it something else. Don't try to water it down. Get with it. Or reverence, you can't. Be honest. It ain't gonna come chase you, look for you, put you in a headlock, chokehold you. But if your heart has told you, this is me, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I see the sincerity in this. If your heart tells you this is something real, then humble yourself and embrace the path. If your heart tells you this is some bullshit, just go ahead and move along. Do you understand the point I'm making? Don't say, oh, be with us and be on this because we on this and another. It never was on that. It never was that. It was what it was. And it's always going to be what it is. You see what I'm saying? That's the fact. And you'll see that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And sometimes, when the student is ready, they will find out that the teacher was already there all the time. And sometimes when the student was ready, they will find the teacher within themselves and find themselves communicating with others that just only simply are speaking and representing the teacher that lies already within themselves anyway. Do you understand the point I'm making? And they can communicate and comprehend what the teacher outside of them is saying because of what they've already heard that the teacher within inside themselves already said. Ain't that deep? So this is a true path for people who want to step into true black enlightenment. Organizations, you don't have to do much. You shake hands, smile, come to this meeting, come to that meeting, pay your dues, this, that, now. This is the only path. This is the only thing that black conscious beings will have to come into and actually really come into. Don't eat that. No, you don't do that. You got to sacrifice that. You got to release that. You got to give that up. You have to give up what you really love to love black supremacy. You can't worship two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other. So the thing that you really love is the thing that you should give up. Too bad the white man has rigged, you know what I'm saying, the meat and the things that are unhealthy. He has made those the things that we love. You see what I'm saying? But our attachment to things outside of anything other than the realization of black supremacy, all of those attachments must be given up. So the things that we love will be the most challenges for the individuals. That's heavy. Because we are building a new love based on true black supremacy and black supreme beingness, which is not the attachment to those things that are destructive, you know what I'm saying, that alter our perception of the supremeness of ourselves. That's heavy. And a lot of times that's certain relationships.